like Larry Elder. You guys, I'm sure you've seen
Yeah,
him.
we like Larry.
Yeah.
That guy's a genius.
Yeah.
And they call him the black face of white supremacy. It's crazy because, it's racist because a black man would say something that is favored by people in this country who happen to be Republican. Byron Donalds, Thomas Sowell, Larry Elder, they call them white supremacists or, race traitors or whatever. And I'm like, isn't it kind of racist to imply that a guy who, like,
It is.
They're acting like the only reason people are supporting them. What is it? Let me put it this way. I watched Fox News the other day. They had what's the guy's name? Lawrence Jones. I'm not sure if I'm getting his name wrong. He's great though. But he went to a bunch of barbershops in the Bronx, and he was asking black men who they're voting for, why they're voting. And one guy said Kamala Harris. And he said these young black men have the slave mentality where they want to vote for Massa. And that's the people who are voting for Trump. And I'm just like, isn't it kind of, isn't it some kind of racism that if you're going to assume if somebody has an idea they like, it can only be because they're trapped in racism? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, that's
You're right.
Like their race is the reason why they feel this way, when it's just, the way I see it is if you're stupid, you're stupid. If you're smart, you're smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think like, okay, so all these years, when black people really going through things like, getting out of slavery and this and that, and we fought for freedom to make your own decisions. So now that we're finally, we're here, not finally, we've been free, but now that we're here, 2024, 2025, and it's like, y'all are still like in this mindset that it's like we all have to think the same way, even though we're free.
Yeah.
And it's like, I saw a quote, it was like from my pastor, it was like, if you tell someone that a door is locked, they'll never try to open it, even though it's open. So they're just telling people like, you're oppressed, you're racist, this and that. And people sitting there eating it up. And then it's like, wait. And I remember I sat there and I thought, I was like, well, how many racist things have happened to me? And it was like, compared to what they was doing, like nothing. Like my life has been completely fine.
No, facts.
I remember my coach at Louisiana, because Louisiana is, a southern state, the heart of the South.
We was South Louisiana.
Yeah.
Too.
He was talking about how like when he was in college, we had a white coach who went to a HBCU. And so he understood like black people a lot. He was like, the teachers there would get on the students so bad when they would like come to class and be, ungrateful for the situation they had. And they're like, we fought for y'all to get here to do this. And I was thinking like, yeah, probably back then in the 40s, 50s, like people were fighting just to go to school. And now it's like everyone can go to school. You can do all these things. We have all these opportunities, but we're still sitting here crying about racism and all these things. And I think it's just from the perspective that we have.
You know what's crazy about Coach, though? I remember one day he told us, it was like, I think a black graduation or something that was going on. And he was all like, no, imagine if white people had that, man. And I remember, me too, I was like, hold on. That's a good point.
Like the Black Student Union. He was like, same thing about the Black Student. He said, Matt, there's a white student union.
Yeah, and I was like,
I was like, oh my
and
God.
that's around the time we started getting on YouTube. And I was like, man, that's pretty crazy. Like,
Yeah,
if
no,
you
I
think about
never
it,
thought about that.
yeah, that's insane, man.
This, for me, all like the woke stuff, one of the biggest problems I have with it is that I get it, especially coming from Chicago. That's where, do you guys know what redlining is?
Yeah, that's where they like.
That's where it comes
neighborhoods
from.
and stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yes, because the red line train,
Okay.
the real estate agents basically conspired to be like, make sure the black people can only live in this area so they're not near the white people because it'll negatively impact property values. That was in the 80s when they finally put an end to it. So I can imagine if you're like 60, you're saying like you don't understand how bad it was and the
I get
racism.
it.
Yeah,
No, that makes sense. I do like that you highlighted that, because when you look at Black history and like the things Black people have to go through to get to the position we are today, it's like, why would you not go to college? Because Black people fought for your right to go to college. Why would you not try to buy a home? Because people couldn't buy homes. Like, it's like, why would you not fight to be successful? Like the stuff and opportunity we have now in America, people fought and died for that. Like my great-great-grandma, she was like 90 something. She was born in 1919. I remember she was telling me about like how she went to school, it was segregated. She had to fight to go to college. And like how my whole family, like on my dad's side, my whole family all went to this HBCU in Oklahoma because it's the only place they could go to school. Like, and my dad was one of the first ones to not go there. He went to OU. And like my mom, like she was adopted, like, and like all her stuff, she put herself through college and law school. So like they like really told me Black history and like told me like, why would you throw all the stuff that the people before you fought for away and not be successful? Like, and that's what people in the streets are doing. Like, you're saying, oh, all they went through that stuff, so America's doomed, so why try? And I'm gonna just go throw myself away and make nothing of myself. Like, that's almost a slap in the face to those who came before you and died for you. And that's why I say, like, a lot of people don't have an example of what to strive for or know what could be if you go fight and try to go make something of yourself. So I think that's one of the biggest disconnects we have.
You know, it's crazy. The same people that will throw their life away will tell me I'm wrong for being
Facts.
MAGA.
No, that's facts.
that's crazy.
They're
So
the
it's
ones,
like,
they're the ones
What do you
that-
want?
No,
That's why I
those
said, I don't care about pleasing people. I'm not- I do not care about pleasing y'all at all.
No, and that's a great example because the ones who don't try or are too afraid to try or blame racism on the reason they won't try are the ones that are the most brainwashed and easily controlled by the media narratives and everything that's thrown out there. So like they're the ones that tell us like, oh, you guys are dumb, you guys are sellouts, you're this, you're that. And I'm like, look, bro, like if y'all really watch the videos and listen to what we say and how we got to this point, you realize this is not.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.